Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be talking about relationship advice and dating advice. I asked you guys on Twitter a couple days ago what you guys wanted to see, and I thought this was an interesting topic. I don't think I've really ever talked about it other than in blogs, but I've never really done a video about it. So I'm only 25, but I've been in my fair share of interesting relationships that I feel like I could help maybe some of you guys out. So this is just some of my perspective and my advice to you. All right, so first piece of advice is to listen to that little voice inside your head. 9.5 times out of 10, that voice is always right. Whether it be a major red flag, like you think your significant other is cheating, or like a little flag like, wow, that ism about that person's really gonna drive me nuts in 6 months. Because usually the reason you break up with a person has to do with something that your little voice in your head told you way before you got so involved with this person. Next piece of advice, if your significant other ever puts you down, makes you feel bad about yourself, insults you, abuses you, degrades you in any way, shape, or form, dump them. You cannot change them, and no matter how hard you try, that's something that they need to fix on their own. Don't put that on yourself to fix somebody. All it's gonna do is make you feel bad about yourself in the process. So first sign of any sort of degrading, putting down, tell that boy bye. Next, relationships are a two-way street. I feel like a lot of people forget this. Relationships take equal amounts of work of two people meeting in the middle. So if one partner starts to get lazy, the other person's gonna feel it. So if this happens, you definitely need to talk to your partner about how you're feeling. And if they're not willing to meet you in the middle, then that's the whole point of a relationship, and I don't think that you should be with that person. There's also, different times in relationships I understand where, somebody might be going through something and it's harder for them to meet in the middle. And if that's the case, make sure you take note of that. But if this is just, your partner being their usual selves and they're just not willing to meet you in the middle, bye. Now this next piece of advice, it's very, very, very true. I've seen friends in relationships like this. I've been in a relationship like this. Basically, if all your friends and your entire family strongly dislike your significant other, you should 10 times out of 10 break up with this person. Your significant other should fit into your friend group and your family, not cause isolation between the two. It's either going to cause a serious rift in your friends and your family, or you're gonna end up isolated with your significant other, and then 6 months down the line you're gonna be like, wait, this isn't right. So just keep in mind that your friends and family know you better than your significant other does, usually at the point in time when everybody decides to dislike them. So take their advice to heart. Now, it's gonna take you realizing that this person isn't right for you before you will truly understand where your friends and family are coming from. But just keep that in a little note in a back corner of your brain, because that's not a good sign. All right, so this next piece of advice is to remember that you should be able to be 100% your genuine self, super comfortable around your partner. If you feel like you have to wear a mask, or you're putting on an act, or you just feel like you have to be on around your significant other, that's not a comfortable relationship. Now, I know, keep in mind, I'm an introvert, so for me to let down my walls and to kind of be my own 100% true self, it takes a while. It takes 6 months to a year, usually. So I'm saying after a long amount of time, year and a half, if you're still feeling like you can't be yourself without them judging you, or they're not accepting you for who you are, that's when you need to decide if you want to leave or not. Personally, I would leave just because I think I would want to be with somebody who accepts me 100% for who I am, doesn't judge me. But again, keep in mind, if you're an introvert, it's hard. You need to find somebody who is willing to break down those walls and wants to get to know the real you. Now, this next piece of advice is for single people, for people in relationships, for dating people, for married people, anybody really. And that is to take the 5 love languages test. I'll put a link to where you can take it in the description box below. Basically, this test just tells you which of the 5 love languages you are, and your love language is what makes you feel loved in a relationship. Now, if you're single, you should know this because you'll know, what to look for and what to expect from a relationship. And if you're in a relationship and, you're feeling it's almost there, it's not quite right. Your significant other might just not be speaking your love language. It's such a simple fix, and it makes everybody happier in the relationship. So again, highly suggest taking that. So this is for the single people out there watching. If you're losing hope and you're in this deep hole of I'm never gonna find anybody, and nobody's ever gonna love me, I'm gonna be alone forever, which we've all been there. My advice to you would be to enjoy the time by yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but the time by yourself is so special because you really get to know yourself from yourself. You don't have anybody who's making plans for you. You literally get to run on your own schedule, which is so important. It's also really important to figure out what you like and what you don't like, what kind of partner you want to have in your life. Do you want to have, if you're super type A, you don't want to date another type A person because you guys would drive each other insane. You have to know if you're an introvert, an extrovert, and that time to getting to know yourself is super important to finding a successful relationship. Enjoy not having to make plans. If you want to stay home at night, you can literally do whatever you want to do. So enjoy it. So if you're dating, my advice for you for first dates would be to always have a backup plan. So I've been in date scenarios where they've wanted to continue the date, like it was dinner and they want to go to dessert, and I was just like not feeling it. So I realized that if you make loose plans with your friend, like explain the situation to your friend, be like, so I have a date at 6. Can we make plans for around 8 so that I have an excuse to leave if I want to? But then if she's a good friend, she'll totally understand if the date's going well, and you'll be like, oh, sorry, it's gonna be later. But it makes it easier because you actually don't have to lie to get out of the date. Like you already have another plan. You can be like, oh, no, sorry, I can't go because I already made plans with my friend, and you won't catch yourself stuttering or being fidgety when you feel like you need to lie or whatever. It just helps. It's also a peace of mind in the back of your head the entire date. Okay, this also goes for dating. If you get nervous for dates, which I know I definitely did back in the day, remember that every, couple goals, OTP, relationship you look up to has been on a somewhat awkward first date. No relationship starts, right out of the gate, like perfect, nothing wrong. There's gonna be so many awkward moments and so many awkward dates, but you've gotta go on them to find your person. If you keep canceling dates because you're scared of it being awkward, you're never gonna find anybody. Embrace the awkward because everybody has been in that boat. Alright guys, I hope this was somewhat helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
I've had enough. Go ahead and have a little too much. It's okay to be less. Baby, if it helps you think of us, I'll take